What up, y'all?
Ladies and gents, one and all, hello.
Yeah, different setting this week. We're at your house.
Yeah.
Well, won't tell anybody where it is.
On the sofa, man, we're chilling.
Yeah. It's Gary here, Mexigary.
Doug Jagger keeps it new.
Doug Jagger keeps it new. Where did that come from?
It came from just, obviously I love new metal, so I was like, fuck it, I'll just make my,
new as
handle.
NU.
NU, man.
That is your YouTube handle.
Yeah, man.
I should have known that by now.
I'm not deeply offended, it's fine.
By the way, thanks to everybody who checked out the last podcast. We're tentatively calling it Cardboard Paradise because my incredible album, most incredible album was called Cardboard Engine, and your debut single from Face of Silence was called Another Day in Paradise.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, so, but well, if you guys have got any suggestions as to what we should call it, two pricks on a couch, you pricks.
I know, at this point it is, absolutely. Yep. Only one of them's got pattered, it's no me.
Well, it isn't me, so Gary.
I know, right?
Yeah.
So no, it's cool. We're doing it again. First one, like Gary said, thank you for watching, everybody who did. I want to kick off this week.
You've been up at that place, Byra in Shira.
Yes, the Byra in Shira.
When you told me, I was got it mixed up with King Kell Byra, which is a very different venue in St Andrews.
All right, okay.
It's right beside Trump's golf course up there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Huge. When you were describing it as like a massive barn, and I was like, yeah, that sounds about right. But no, it's totally different place.
Yeah, we were in Perth.
Yeah,
good venue, by the way.
Yeah, good crowd.
Great crowd.
Yeah,
great crowd.
Have you done any more originals gigs since the last saw you?
No, but we've got a Binky's date booked in, which is cool. I can't remember what it is off the top of my head, which is typical.
Whistle Binky's in Edinburgh.
Yep, I'll link it. We'll link it in the bio of this particular video, I guess, once I remember what the date is. But it's sometime in August. I think it's towards the end of August. Mm-hmm. So it'll be a Tuesday night, and the slot is 11 o'clock till 12 o'clock. So.
Oh yeah, I got in touch with the guy who's booking for that.
Yeah,
and. He must have remembered us from when we used to, because I did Binky's every Tuesday for about 15 years. Jeez, under Mexico originally, and then 3 Card Trick later. Mexico was just a 2-piece,
right?
So it was just me and a drummer. So I would put the guitar through the guitar amp as normal with a boost pedal, and then out of that into a tuner pedal, which turned the bass signal on and off. Because it would then go from the tuner into a bass amp, and then it would and tell you what, man, you think that's got to sound rough. It kind of did, but we won like 4 Battle of the Bands. It was Curly Lloyd's in Perth, 2003. Druth and Ebers in Dundee, 2004. The Ice Stravaganza or something like the Real Chill, the Ultimate Chill. Fat Sam's in Dundee, and once we won all 3 of those, we got invited to represent Scotland in something called the Global Battle of the Bands at the Astoria 2 in fucking London in 2005,
shit, man.
And we came third in that. There was one band from like 16 countries in Europe, and we all played at London, and we represented Scotland. It was fucking good. It was like the Eurovision Song Contest, but for like cool music.
Aye.
It was the weirdest thing to ever.
Did that turn into anything for you?
It was so strange because like the panel. The band that came first were called Second.
What?
They were from Spain. And by the way, there was no prizes for anything but first. You think about something at that scale.
Aye,
16 give them a day in the studio, give them a fucking Marshall amp, give them a fucking wank or something like that. Just give them a rim
Surely,
job.
anything.
Give them a fucking bottle full of queefs. to sniff and scratch and sniff and to training away on them. But no, there was us, and then there was a cool band from Wales called Sal. They didn't get anything. Right. But there was only first, second and third place, and the band that came second was just I think she was Romanian, and she was kind of like Bjork kind of thing.
Okay.
Really cool, but no, I thought we were amazing, obviously. Everybody only played 2 songs. But yeah, it was
you played both originals?
It was all original music, man. Yeah,
love that, man.
Yeah,
love that. Where's that these days?
I know
that's disappeared out of the fucking out of the psyche.
It has. You don't see. I mean, you don't even barely see band nights these days.
Yeah.
Well, is that because we don't go to them, or do they just not exist?
I don't know, man. I feel like the market's completely changed.
Because we're not in that scene so much at the moment.
Not in the same way that you must have been absolutely hammering original music and trying to play everywhere that you could at that particular point, right?
Well, when playing music wasn't my living, when I had to have day jobs, and because I never had a real job ever. I mean, it was always like And when I went to Perth College, I worked at the boating pond. So there was me and waiters out in the middle of the day, getting the boats, dragging them into the... So I did jobs like that, cleaning up the swimming pool and all that.
Yeah.
So I did that, and then it was Domino's pizza deliveries, and then it was working at Subway sandwiches, and then it was selling phones and all this shit. And I was like... I just did anything to free up my night times so that I could gig as much as I wanted at night. And very rarely was that covers. You know, it was maybe a Friday or a Saturday night in a pub gig, but obviously we did the Tuesdays at Binky's, as I just said. But aside from that, it was like Wednesday, ABC2, Thursday, you know, the one that we used to play in beside Queen Street Station. What was that one?
Beside Queen Street?
It was Queen Street Station. It's called it's called Dow's now, I think. Is it Dow's? Anyway, there was that. You had the ABC2, you had the Battlelands 2.
Yeah.
And then you had a couple out in the west.
What was that like to play? Because I've been in there and seen it as like a kind of pub and a place to get a pint if you're going upstairs to watch somebody. What was it like to play the Barras too?
Well, you're kind of you were in the corner, and then the bar was round the corner there. It was a cool venue. Pain in the arse fucking loading.
I bet.
Pain in the arse. I mean, it's a pain in the arse to go to. It's like 3 sets of stairs to get to a gig, and you've got to take your whole gear in that. But it was really cool because you could just say, "Oh, I've played the Barras." Then you just the Barras 2. Tiny font at the end.
Yeah. Counts.
Yeah. But what do you reckon's like? Because I would say that the Mean Fiddler in London, that was probably the biggest and coolest and most exciting gig I've ever done. Oh, apart from when I'm just tooting my own fucking scrotum.
Toot it, mate. Toot it.
I'm tooting my own scrotum now. But it was probably...
Was he not an Egyptian emperor? 2 times scrotum.
That's the Egyptian car park attendant.
That's a car park.
Toot and come in.
Right.
So I was probably... We played with The Darkness. Did I tell you about that one?
You've told me that you supported them.
Yes. No,
that's what it was.
It wasn't... I would probably say that was the highest profile gig, and we supported the Subways and Wheatus when we supported Wheatus at Rockers, and we did 2 gigs with the Subways. One of them was at the garage.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no, it was the main room in the garage, yeah.
Nice.
Supported them, but I made a mistake that night because we were on stage for like maybe... We got 20 minutes set, and we did like first couple of songs, and I could see there was guys down the front. They were just obviously waiting. They'd positioned themselves right in front of where Charlotte from the Subways plays, so they couldn't wait for them to come on. And I was just like... This was a band called Rocket Fox I was in at the time. So we had a girl bass player who was very hot as well, called Fiona. But I was just like trying to have a bit of crack with him, and I just went, "You're not into this, are you?" And he was like, "Nah, you're shite." Like,
really?
I'm supporting the Subways. I thought I'd fucking made it, man. This little dick in a fucking Avril Lavigne t-shirt down the bottom, telling me I'm shite.
You're always going to get that though. I feel like you invited that by asking. You wouldn't do that now.
Our manager at the time was like, "Why did you do that? You just made everybody else in the audience realise that even the people down the front aren't enjoying your set." Everybody else seemed to be. There was a bit of a bounce going on.
Buzz going on.
A couple of tunes and that. But no, the most exciting thing about that was playing the 2 sold out venues at that size.
Yeah.
The other one with Fat Sam's in Dundee, which was the same place we did the Chill. But where do you reckon, aside from weddings?
Right now it's Catty. I loved playing Catty a couple of weeks ago with Blue Nicotine. That was unreal.
Oh yeah,
really fun.
That was quite a busy one.
Yeah, man. Yeah, so that was a gig where Blue Nicotine were supporting Wayward Sons, which is Toby Jepson's band, and that was awesome. We had a fucking great time. It must have been when we were playing, because we were on first. I think we took the stage just on the other side at 7:30 towards 8 o'clock, and we had about 40 minutes or so, and I reckon by the last 2 or 3 songs, just as Aidan broke his foot, of course, going down into the crowd and slipped up the steps, and so that was anyway, powered through it like Dave Grohl did. It didn't need a chair. Didn't need a chair, but
throne.
Yeah. He still had pedal work to do though, and he was obviously trying to tap away on it.
Oh my god! Ow! Throwing his broken floppy foot on a fucking distortion pedal, like whap.
I know this pedal sounds the way I feel,
like a big saggy tit. Whap.
So no, it was hilarious. Like that, and obviously he's recovered now. But that was awesome. And there must have been about, I want to say, between 150 200 at that point in the venue, which was really cool.
Great.
Aside from that, I'm trying to think if there's any other places that I've played that have been like particularly big crowds or whatever. That one definitely takes the cake. But we've got on Sunday this weekend Wildfire Festival up in Wanlock Head.
Very cool.
Which is very cool. We're on the Sunday and it's at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, so when we're due to be taking the stage. And reports are suggesting that festival is really busy So between 250, 300 people in this crowd at that time, which is going to be amazing.
Wow, what time of the day is it, did you say?
2 p.m.
2 p.m. Wildfire Festival.
Yep.
Whereabouts is that again?
I couldn't tell you, but the town is called Wanlock Head.
It's called what?
Wanlock Head.
Wanlock Head. That rings a bell as well.
Yeah, there's like an inn there, the Wanlock Head Inn, I think, and I know very little about it at this point. I really do, but looking forward to it.
Yeah, it sounds amazing, man. Is it outdoors, did you say?
I think it's in a tent.
That's in a tent, yeah.
Kinda
you can't really... It doesn't matter what time of year it is, you can't hedge your bets with outdoor gigs in Scotland, you know. It's different if you're in the audience and just go like, fuck it, if Tea in the Park, well, it's not there anymore, but Transmit.
Yeah.
If that's raining, it's like, fuck it, let's make it into like Glastonbury, start sliding down the fucking mud
big
and all
hills
that.
and that.
But as a band, if you're playing, you can't just willy-nilly play outside in case it fucking pisses down.
Well, this is it. I mean, a couple of years ago, went to see Mammoth, Def Leppard and Motley Crue at Glasgow Green, which is the same location. Pretty sure it's the same place that the stage is, actually. I think it's set up in the same place.
All right.
And it pissed down for Def Leppard. I actually left halfway through Motley Crue because I was doing some recording the next few days. So I was like, right, I don't want to catch a cold and not be able to do my vocals and stuff for the Face of Silence EP, which I was recording at the time. So I left halfway through Motley Crue, but it was pissing down, man. On the stage as well.
Oh, Jesus,
like,
that's dangerous.
They're all wireless and all the rest of it. There's always that thought in the back of your head, isn't there? Just like, this could all go really badly, really quickly.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But it was funny because at one point, for about 5 to 10 seconds during their set, the front of the house went down. But the monitors were still working, so we could hear what they were doing. But obviously just through foldbacks, and everybody in the crowd's like, "Wait, what's going?" And then it came back on again. But there was a good lull for like everybody was like, and they maybe didn't notice.
But did you notice that the front of the house had went down?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So you just kept going because you had the monitors.
No, this is Def Leppard I'm talking about.
Oh, sorry,
Yeah. Because I mean, at that level, you know, it's not your responsibility to handle that. You know?
I wonder if they even noticed. And if they've got such powerful monitors, they might not even have noticed that the front of the house had gone down.
I don't think they had a clue.
Yeah.
But here's the question, right? So even if you put yourself on the stage in that situation scenario, and you know you're rocking away, you can't not keep doing it.
Oh yeah, totally.
Just because front of house goes down, you've got to still, even if you become aware of it, you've got to still perform like it's all fine, right? You don't want to give any indication that it's not going to plan.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Even the pros have issues like that. There's a famous Goo Goo Dolls performance in Buffalo of that. It was. I mean, I watched I love the whole concert. But there was a bit where they had to go off stage because it was raining sideways onto the stage.
Oh shit!
You know, they'd done everything they could to like cover it up with the plastic wrapping and that. But they had to go up and then they came back on. Stayed. Literally, the guys are sweeping water off the stage, covering up their pedal boards and all that.
Yeah.
And he's comes back on with his guitar, and the famous line is, "Could you turn my guitar on?" Because the guys were too busy doing the shit that they couldn't. So and it turned out to be the greatest version of that song.
Well, is it
live
Iris? Is the famous? Is that
Iris?
That show?
That's the one I'm thinking of. Yeah,
I've seen that video, mate.
Have you seen it?
It's just iconic, isn't it?
Yeah, it's great song. But you know, that's one of them songs that it's one of them bands that people say play the Goo Goo Dolls, and you know that they mean Iris.
Yes.
But I might go to is always something like Slide. Or if I'm playing, because I think the band knows Iris and Slide, but I know loads of other stuff, so I'll play Black Balloon or what's that first one off Gutter Flower, Big Machine.
Have you listened to, is it Let Love In?
Yeah, it's a great album as well.
Stuck that on for the first time. I've never listened to it before, but about 2 weeks ago. Fucking great album. Great album. I loved it. And that was was that early 2000s or late 90s?
No, it would have been, mid 2000s, I think. That was probably 05, maybe 04.
Where do you place that album in your rankings of the Goo Goo Dolls?
Well, you've got to go Dizzy Up the Girl first, then Gutter Flower, and probably that third.
Right,
although I do like Magnetic, got a bit of shit. But the thing is about the Goo Goo Dolls is, you know what you're fucking getting. It's like AC/DC or Bryan Adams.
Now you do though.
Yeah,
I went all the way back and I listened to the first album.
Oh, and
it's super punky, trashy sounding.
Yeah, because that was when people didn't remember this probably, and they weren't even that famous at the time. But Robbie used to be the main guy in the band, the bass player, and it was all punk, and they were called something like the Sex Maggots.
Right. Okay.
Right, and that was all that early Goo Goo Dolls stuff was like an offshoot of that.
Right.
Because the record label came in. Well, when the record label got Johnny in, and they became the Goo Goo Dolls.
Johnny became the singer, is that right?
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Yeah. And they went, right, okay, he's the lead singer now because he's sexy and he can actually sing. And Robbie's like, but I formed a fucking band. Yeah. And they're like, do you want to be famous or not? But that's one of the... Sorry, man, I've lost my fucking...
What are you doing here?
Sorry about that.
Fanning about.
I know, I'm not looking for my other testicle.
Yeah. Might have to try harder.
Yeah. Magnifying glass. And, sorry, what was the...
Robbie joined. No, Robbie got demoted to being bassist exclusively. He must have done some backing vocals over.
Oh yeah, I mean he sings like maybe a third of the album tracks now, doesn't he?
Aye.
You know, like February friend, I'm calling you again. Yeah. No offense, Robbie, but you know, whenever you sing your songs live, that's when I go for a fag. Yeah, but a cigarette, I should say. So.
Yeah, no, man, I think it's kind of normal that during any band set, there's going to be like, call them lulls, you know, where you're just like, yeah, I'm not really that fussed about this one. I'll come back in. I know what they're going to do towards the end. I'm kind of only really here for that because bands do this.
Yeah.
You save the big ones to the end to make sure everybody sticks around. I remember. I don't know when this was, 15, 16 years ago or something. The Hydro wasn't built yet, so that gives you an indication.
Right.
And I went to the SECC with my dad and we saw Thunder, who were fucking great.
Yeah.
Then it was Whitesnake, who were fucking great. And then it was Journey, who
cool.
were not anywhere near as good as the other two.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah,
Why
maybe it was just the music. Like I love the kind of bluesy hard rock shit that Thunder do. Whitesnake, Coverdale's got that shit down to a fine art, and this was 15, 20 years ago, whatever it was. Not 20, I would have been 10. That's ridiculous. And it was class. But then Journey came on, and it wasn't like it was bad. It just wasn't the same. And I feel like with those kind of bills, you want to just be amping up and up and up. And Whitesnake, Journey should have opened that night.
Right, yeah, I think they're a bit... I mean, I know they're quite... Like some of their stuff's quite rocking, but... The other two bands are a bit more rocking than Journey, generally speaking, is that
Absolutely.
right? Absolutely. Journey's got keys as well.
They do,
The other two bands have keys.
Thunder didn't, but Whitesnake do, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, there's a Thunder song, I think probably arguably their biggest hit was I Think I Love You More Than Rock and Roll.
Uh-huh.
Is that Thunder?
I think.
And that's, I realised that, like 10 years later, I've realised that I ripped that song off for She's the Reason I Love Being Me. Fuck's sake.
Dude, it's impossible to come up with a completely unique melody these days. It just fucking is.
Damn right. There's only 12 notes.
There's only 12
and you
notes.
can only, if you want to write a sensible song, there's only like 5.
I know. It has to be happy or sad. You can't be ambiguous about that shit.
Oh, it just came into my head there that chord sequence is exactly the same as Tonight I'm a Rock and Roll Star.
By Oasis, really? Oh my god.
So they ripped it off from them.
I know, yeah.
And I probably ripped it off from Oasis.
Yeah.
And, you know, when I'm rich and famous, kids will rip me off. Suck me off.
What position to be in?
Yeah. Missionary. Yeah.
But it's that way though, isn't it? Like I remember that, you know, with the setlist thing, Journey played Don't Stop Believing relatively early.
Yeah.
And I swear to God, man, the crowd thinned by 50%.
Right. I mean, yeah, especially if you're the last band.
I mean, my dad fucking left as well. I was like, okay, we've seen that, we're out.
But did they have like a lot of other big hits, or that you would have recognised, or?
A couple maybe. Any Way You Want It's one of them. There's another one that has gone out of my head that it's not In the Stone, or it's something along those lines. So yeah, 2 or 3 maybe. Yeah, you know. But in comparison to like all the Thunder stuff, which is just bluesy hard rock, I was like, I'm in this. Yeah, fucking big guitars, I love it.
Even if you don't know the song, you know you're going to enjoy it because it's that, you know. But there's 2 sides to the whole famous bands on tour that have got like loads of albums to pick from. How do they put a set together? Because me and Dean talked about this quite a bit a while ago, because we were talking about how Blink-182, like every time they tour now, it's almost the exact same set list. They might throw in one curveball from an older album, but it's always, I mean, I'm one of the biggest Blink fans on the fucking planet, right? Because I can hardly play guitar either, Tom. There's 2 of us. And but it's like, I think I've seen it all now. You know, I've seen enough versions of Blink to know, I know what I'm going to get, so I'm not going to bother going back this tour. But it's like... But the reason why I can't be arsed to go and see Sting tonight, he's playing in... I think he's doing the big Cabela Houston gig tonight. Oh, really? Sting's playing, yeah. Right. Tomorrow night I'm going to see Delamitri at Queen's Park, so that'll be amazing. But yeah, I didn't get Sting tickets because he's famous for playing too many B-sides that nobody knows. Right. He's like, I'm sick of every breath, so I'm not fucking playing. He always does that one at the end, but he doesn't do all the hits you'd expect. So that's the other side of it, because if I go to see Sting, I want to see all the hits.
Aye.
Because I've never seen him before.
Yeah.
So can't get too selfish about it, can you? But yeah, I mean, to play Don't Stop Believing in the middle of the set was a bit... Rage Against the Machine did that for their Live at the Olympic Auditorium live DVD.
Right.
And they played Killing in the Name third.
Holy shit.
Yeah. And then it was all like Calm Like a Bomb. They had some kind of lower album tracks.
Do you feel like that the crowd then went like, oh my god, they're playing it now, and then after it's done, everybody was a bit like, oh, okay, well, we've kind of seen the one that we wanted to see?
Could be that, but
do you think that happened?
Now that I think about it, it was on CD, so I didn't get to see if there was a DVD. I never got to saw it.
Right. Okay.
See, it might be on YouTube, but no, I think if you go to see Rage Against the Machine, you know more than one song.
Yeah.
I don't know if many people are buying a Rage ticket to go and see Killing in the Name.
No.
And maybe Bullet in the Head or whatever their second famous. What do you think the second most famous Rage song is?
Famous?
Yeah.
Or second best?
Well, best is a different thing, because I like some of the... I think... what would you say is the best?
Know Your Enemy.
No, I was going to say Know Your Enemy as well. Fucking right, man.
Yeah, dude. It has to be. It's fucking unreal.
There's so many... It's like the Bohemian Rhapsody of new metal. There's so many bits to it,
Yeah.
Same with Freedom, actually, because it's got that slow bit at the end that builds up to the freedom.
Bam, boom.
Fucking love playing that song. Like,
a very similar riff to I Wish.
That's great. Oh yeah, we played that one at the Wolf the other night, and
I Wish or Freedom.
Yeah. Now that I think about it, I wish I'd sang Freedom.
Yeah, right. That would have been cool.
But yeah, I can never remember what those chords, because it's in E flat minor. I Wish, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it goes E flat minor to the A flat 7. But what's the other bit that goes? Nothing but...
Yeah, I can't remember.
I can't remember either. I was trying to...
I just read my iPad and it tells me.
Yeah.
God's so lazy with that, man. Don't get me
man.
wrong. Like, push came to shove and somebody said to me, okay, this gig, you can't use your iPad. I would learn it and I would know it, but I am so reliant.
No, you just use your phone.
There you go. I mean, that's it, man. The clips are the right size these days, man. You could totally get away with that.
But the first couple of years that we did weddings, we couldn't, maybe the first year, couldn't afford an iPad, so I was using actual old school folders.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I had like a music stand and the folders there, the A4 with all the lyrics on. I had to write the chords in.
Yeah,
so,
I mean,
it's old school, man.
It works.
Kids these days don't know they're fucking born, man.
I know, that's
Jesus.
absolutely true.
Back in my day, we had to tape them off the radio. Play today is going to be the day. Pause. Then they're going to throw it back to you.
When that album came out, that's American Idiot up there, right? That album came out in 2004. It says there, September 04. Yeah. And I was 10.
Right.
And my grandparents, they lived in Balloch, Bonhill, Vale even. And my grandpa had a typewriter. And I swear to God, mate, the first American Idiot, I was fucking typewriting out the lyrics, hitting pause on the CD player. So yeah, man, I relate to that.
But the lyrics are inside the
Don't want to be an American ka-ching idiot.
Yeah, that was the days when you bought a CD and all the lyrics were inside. It was a fucking godsend. I had a couple of albums on CD where the lyrics weren't there, and I was like, you fucking lazy bastards.
I know, man. Give me the notes.
Fucking lie.
I want the liners.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Then these days, like, you don't even get. I mean, these days, if we have to say these days, man, one more time, I might as well just call it the Crony old phonies. Fogeys.
Fogeys.
Crony old Fogeys. Is that a fucking sentence?
Sure.
Because taping them off the radio and writing them down took a lot longer.
You were invested.
It was an investment in your own.
Invested in it.
I mean, I sometimes when I'm cleaning out my cupboards and that, I'll find, move the old dildos aside, the flashlights and that, and the used Johnnies, and you'll find a folder, like a fucking tower of folders from back when I was like learning all these songs, and they're all like written in pencil on A4 sheets.
Brilliant.
Chords written in, and then when I could actually pinpoint the point at which my balls dropped, because I had to go back over the early ones and change the keys of them.
No way.
Because when I was younger, I'm talking about like 12, 13, playing Wonderwall, I would have to play that with a capo on the fifth, because my voice was so
Holy shit.
So I might have that on cassette, me singing it.
That makes it an A.
Yeah, A minor, and it's actually an F sharp minor. So, but then one day my boss, today was gonna be the day that you're gonna throw. So I had to change all the keys down.
Capo to fuck, man.
Yeah. Luckily for that song, I didn't have to rewrite the chords. You just go capo 2 instead.
Capo 2, yeah.
But yeah. But then even at that, there's some bands from then. The Manic Street Preachers I used to love, but I could never sing the songs because the riffs that they had were so you couldn't change the keys of them because things like Designed for Life, you have to play that when it's in C and you've got to use the open B string for the major 7.
Got you.
So you can't take it down to A to so it's fucking design
right up there.
Can't do it. Yeah. Dean sometimes gets it, but he's got a slightly higher range than me. You've got probably a similar range to Dean as well, so
I think so. Yeah. I'm having a lot of fun hitting some high notes, man. Got asked for I Believe in a Thing Called Love at Lucky's a couple of weeks ago, and I went for it, and I was like, there it is.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
What with the falsetto?
Aye, the full boon up the top, yeah.
Falsetto. Great, man, great.
So, no, it's good.
I've got a couple of things I wanted to mention today.
Aye, go for it, man.
We always have like little stories from the road. That may be a good name for the...
Stories from the road, that would work.
Something like that, maybe something a bit more rock and roll than that.
Yeah. Rocking a Johnson place, I don't know.
Yeah, stories from the rocky road. Nah. Oh, yeah, right, so I was playing Stramash in Edinburgh last week.
Yeah.
Right, and we do 2 hours solid there these days, so it was maybe about 2 o'clock. We're finishing at 2:30.
You don't bother with a break, you just go fucking...
Nah, because it's such a fun gig. We get paid... we negotiated a higher fee for because whenever we take a break,
the people would leave.
So you keep them in,
yeah.
So many bars in that area that they could. You take more than 5 minutes break and they're fucked off.
Yeah. Attention spans these days, man. It's the phones.
Exactly. But if you keep going for the extra, because the thing is, when we're doing a wedding, we're doing 2 hours and an hour and a half. Mm-hmm. So
it's not that we can't. Obviously, I mean, it's not a more fun gig, but when it's a gig where you're pubbing and it's like bouncing and I hear you.
Absolutely, man. Yeah. So we just decided to do. So we played. So we got to started at 12:30, played till 1, and then played till like 2. We were playing till 2:30. I'm just saying, at 2 o'clock, this guy starts holding his phone up, full brightness, and it just says the Stone Roses on it like that.
Right.
Did you say it's like a Snapchat app thing that you use?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Display or something.
It's just big letters. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was just like full white. It just said play the Stone Roses. Well, it didn't say play. It said the Stone Roses. Okay, that's how kids request songs these days.
Yeah, there's no interaction.
Yeah.
Do this.
Yeah. Like, and I was like, sorry, man, don't do any Stone Roses, but I'll do some fucking Oasis or something for you. And he's just staring blankly at me, holding the phone up like that. Like through the whole next song, and I was like...
Did he not hear you then?
Well, that's the thing. I was like, dude... Take your phone off because you're going to waste your battery.
Aye.
I could already see it had gone down 15%.
Conscientious member of society, aren't you?
Just trying to make sure the kids get home safe so they can get an Uber with the phone. If his phone's dead, he's not going to be able to get home with an Uber.
Totally, man.
And then I was like, dude, I just said, take your phone down. And he's still holding it up. And I was like, do you fucking speak English? And just at that, some girl comes running right up to the stage, to the side of the stage. She's like, hey. And I was like, I'd already started the next song. She goes, hey, if you're going to be racist, can you fuck off? I was like, what?
No.
Jesus Christ. I've never been accused of that. And then, and I was just like, I was so taken aback that I was backpedaling. Like, what could she possibly have took?
She heard one thing
she heard
assumed.
That, and she noticed that the guy that I was talking to was he was of Indian descent.
Aye, sure.
And that's it, but I would have said that to anybody. It's ridiculous what people pull you up for these days.
And it's like context is king, man.
Yeah.
She's not been privy to the whole situation. I mean, I'm assuming that the guy eventually did take his phone down or maybe interacted with you in some way.
Well, he was kind of laughing and smiling after it and that, but his mates were like, oh, come on, man, he's not going to play Stone Roses, so take the phone down.
Fair enough.
So that was it.
So he was doing a bit?
I think he was just doing it for a laugh.
Aye.
To wind, maybe not to wind me up, but just because he knew that I was getting but it was the fact that his face was totally blank as he was doing it. And I was like... So looking back, it was kind of funny, I suppose.
Nah, but whoever this girl... I mean, come on.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I've got to tell you another one as well. We were at a place called the Priory on Saturday.
The Priory?
And was it... No, Ross Priory.
Oh, Ross Priory, right. Okay.
Yeah.
Alexandria.
Yes, exactly. On the east side of Loch Lomond, isn't it?
That's right. Beautiful little location.
Oh, it's great up there. And it was a lovely day, beautiful venue, quite a small room. It was like you're playing in a room not much bigger than your living room, to be honest, man.
Yeah.
but there was a bar like we were set up maybe where that is, and there was a bar through there, couches and everything, and it was lightly attended, so there was only like 30 or 40 people there, half of them Czech Republic, half of them Scottish.
Okay.
Really lovely people. The Kaylee was hilarious.
I bet.
Because they couldn't understand me, which is fair enough because I'm still working on English. Right? You're having a bunch of Czech people that can't understand English at all. Even the Queen's English, or the King's English as it would be now.
These days, yeah.
So that was fun. Then at the end of the gig, Dean was packing stuff down and we realised I didn't realise this until the end, but there was a piano sitting there that we'd been blocking.
Oh,
so this girl, who was clearly the bride's daughter,
right,
went over to the piano, maybe about 11 or maybe 14, 15-year-old, sat down and started playing this beautiful piano music. Some stuff I recognised she was doing Imagine, and then she was doing a bit of classical stuff. And then her dad...
Am I bracing myself here?
It's just funny because her dad went over to there was a big like speaker in the corner, and he goes plugs his phone in and just starts pumping 50 Cent at full fucking volume while she's playing this beautiful classical music. And she just like,
good encouragement from Pops there.
I know.
Yeah.
She just kind of like looked over and then looked back at the piano and just went, oh, just closed the lid.
Oh, that's so
Went through,
sad.
finished off her diet and brew or whatever. She's like heartbreaking. Oh man. So funny.
That is funny though. Why 50 Cent?
I've got no idea. The guy was about 60.
Jeez, oh man.
Well, not 60.
Maybe that's
55.
50 Cent's untapped market. 55, 60-year-old men in Czech Republic.
Yeah, and like the only song that they'd requested that we play was AO Technology by...
Ayo, daddy, use the take that. Me too, mate. Me too. Fed up with it. Fucking fed up with it, man.
Well, actually, I think what he's talking about in the song is like, I'm sick of talking to you on FaceTime.
Aye, I want to actually meet you. I know.
So,
I'm just sick of technology in general, though. I'm fed up of it. Algorithms, man, they run our lives.
They do indeed.
They run our lives. I don't know where I'm going with this. I'm just ranting at this point.
No, it's even the guys that I watch, the podcast that I watch at the moment called Tuesdays with Stories with Mark Normand and Joe Liston. They're like, they've got to the point where they're like really, the podcast's really popular. They get like 60,000 views on it or something. This is the ones that I was watching from a couple of years ago, and they were complaining that if they swear within the first 5 minutes of the podcast, YouTube will strangle the reach.
Seriously?
And I didn't even think about that. I mean, we probably definitely did.
Oh, we fucking did.
Yeah. So yeah, but I mean, apart from that, they don't really censor it. Like, so they've got enough fans now that purposely tune in.
Aye, so they'll be all right.
I feel like a lot of people that end up watching this have just come across it. You know, it's like
hopefully
none of our friends, maybe D because he likes our Danny or not, like, but none of our friends like Gibby or Dean is not going to tune into this and go, I wonder what Gary and Doug talk about when there's nobody else around.
The same shit we talk about in the van that they're privy to anyway. Yeah. I know.
Yeah, well, I am censoring some stuff, to be honest, like, but...
Yeah, have you got any other road stories from the last couple of weeks?
Literally a road story. I was driving my mum down to... My mum lives in Ireland, right? She came over on Monday for Sunday for a few days to visit me, and then I drove her down to Carlisle yesterday because that's where her family is. But on the way back up, because I had loads of time to spare, I typed into my sat nav, Google Maps, whatever, take me to Glasgow, avoiding motorways.
Okay, so the scenic route.
Yes.
Right, okay.
So instead of taking an hour and a half up the main boring road, 2.5 hours. Fuck me, man. I've seen some of Scotland that I never even knew existed.
That's cool.
Like using the old road to get here.
Did any of them make you want to like stop and like take it in? And
I stopped many times, man. Yeah.
That's so
there was a
good,
bit. Remember we stopped at Moffat?
Yes.
To get petrol that time, and it was like there's a boating pond and that.
Aye.
So I was coming out from the other end, and I went right through Moffat, and then it was the road between Moffat and like Black Hall. Fucking beautiful, and I could see the motorway, and I was like, why would I use that when there's this?
Yeah.
And it was great to do it in the car as well. I got a nippy wee MX-5. It's nothing fancy. It's 2007, but it's really fun to drive, like a wee go-kart. And yeah, I've got more powerful hair dryers. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Put them in the engine, man. That's your turbo.
Yeah. Are you glad to get your van back then?
So glad to get my van back, man.
That was a pain in the arse.
6 weeks. New engine required. I was pretty much drunk those entire 6 weeks. I swear to God.
Why not? You don't have to drive.
Well, I know. I was obviously still able to get the train through at my gigs and all the rest of it. And thankfully, there weren't any weddings. There was a couple of gigs I had to hire a van. Enterprise. There's one in Livingston. And I've had a mixed experience with them. I'm still actually due some money back from them for the first one.
Right.
Yeah, so I need to chase them up. That's a little me reminding myself that I need to do that. But yeah, I hired a van a couple of times. But yeah, for the most part, absolutely shit-faced for those 6 weeks. And it was tremendous because I haven't had a period like that since passing my test. Aside from when I went to France when I was studying, where obviously I wasn't driving, I've always been driving, so I've always had a reason to sober up or be sober to go places. It was fucking great fun.
Yeah.
I had a great time.
Yeah,
you know,
it can be. It's tough when you don't have any reason to sober up. Sometimes
that was it. Yeah, that was literally it.
That's sometimes I'm just like, thank God I've got a wedding tomorrow because I feel like going for it tonight.
I know, man. I know that notion of day drinking.
Yeah.
It's hard to say no sometimes.
Yeah,
man.
well, I mean, it's as many times when I've just been looking at the clock, going, is it socially acceptable to start yet? No.
Well, we've got one from years back where we just didn't stop and we went out the next morning as soon as the pubs opened again.
When
do you remember?
Was it
2019 at some point? I'm sure, man.
So was this like? Did you stay at mine when I was at the flat?
Yeah. So we were on a night out and we went back. We were chilling at yours.
Right.
Stayed up and then went out again.
Oh my God! Yeah, that's ringing a bell vaguely. Was it just me and you?
Aye.
Right. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Where did we go out to in that afternoon?
We went to Strip Joint first.
Oh, that's right. I do remember that. 'Cause we had some food with a burger and that. That was the first time we ever
properly hung out. Like,
yeah, that's.
Or at least got shit faced. At least. Yeah.
Well, you're gonna start as you mean to go on.
I know, man. we have taken the philosophy and ran with it.
Yeah, exactly.
All the way to Dublin.
Yeah.
And all the way to Manchester.
Wow. Yes, you're right. And possibly at some point. Let's do that. Let's do a random trip to Carlisle as well.
Carlisle, yeah, Carlisle too, yeah.
When I was down there yesterday, I was talking to my uncle about that trip, and he was like, "How come you didn't pop in to see us?" I was like, "You wouldn't have wanted to see us in that state."
Fucking rat arse, mate. What are you talking about? You don't want to be privy to that nonsense.
Yeah. No, that was a good one. Yeah, we could maybe do another random European trip soon. But I do have this. I'm going to Alex's wedding in New York. Cool. In New Jersey, so I'm looking forward to that. And at first he was like, "If you guys agree to come, I'll be over the moon. I'll pay for everything. Just get your asses over here. First light out on the Sunday. I'm getting married that night in my new wife's dad's back garden because he's like a nearly famous, like kind of famous celebrity over there. So he's yeah,
cool.
I think we were talking about this in the last pod, maybe.
I can't remember.
So so first he was like, "I'll pay for everything," and then he was like, "I'll go," and then Gibby was like, "I'll go," and Dean was like, "I'm coming," and then Gav was like, "I'm coming." He goes, "Oh, maybe if you give me 500 quid each and I'll square up the rest." So okay, that's fair. I mean, to be fair, man, I wouldn't have let him pay for it all.
No,
anyway.
no, of course.
You know, but it was nice of him to offer. But I think he started realising, oh, that's $4,000 before they've even got here. You know?
Oh shit!
Do I like him that much? No,
that's funny. That's funny. That'll be an amazing experience.
I'm looking forward to seeing Alex getting married and that. But, you know, for the 2 days, we'll be at the house. And then 2 days after that, Manhattan, baby. Going to go and hit the Comedy Cellar, the Fat Cat, Pussycat Club. What's it called? Fat Black Pussycat Club. Village Underground, Gotham. It's just comedy fucking central through there, man. Love it.
Love it.
It's weird how... You've been in New York?
Never.
No, right.
Never been in New York.
So the first time I was there, well, I've been, you know, quite a few times now, but it was the first time I was there. Fucking paid 15 quid to get into this the Comedy Cellar. Nobody famous was on the bill. Well, maybe there was one. Oh, it was Aziz Ansari was on. The guy from
yeah.
He was fine, but just before he went on, the MC came up to the mic. He was like, "Ladies and gentlemen, we've got a very special guest with us tonight. He needs no introduction." And I'd already seen a big limo outside, so I was like, I think I know who this is, because there's not many comedians at the level that are driving about in limos.
Sure.
Big black thing. And he goes, you'll know him from his TV show, his countless... Ladies and gentlemen, Jerry Seinfeld.
Holy shit.
Just paid 15 quid to see nobody. And Jerry Seinfeld comes in.
And does a bit.
And does 20 minutes of brand new stuff.
Class.
It's just like, that's why I love New York. You just never know what's going to happen, you know. We bumped into Louis C.K., Dave Chappelle, Bill Burr. But you can't get to talk to them, because the whole reason they just hang out in the clubs is because the rule is, you know, you don't talk to them.
Right.
And if they do talk to them, you're kind of like liable to get kicked out.
Ah, really? Right, okay.
It's just kind of like, I mean, not in the actual comedy room itself, but in the bar upstairs.
Ah, yeah, just leave people be.
Yeah, they've got their own corner where they just hang out, and it's like, oh my God, it's cool. Don't even ask for a picture. Just leave them alone.
No, well, I mean, that's the thing, you know, if you were to see them walking down the street, maybe it'd be a different story, but you're in call it a protected environment in that kind of place. You know, it's in the same way that, you know, a venue is a musician's home away from home. Mm-hmm. You know, a comedy club is the comedian's home away from home. So if they're a big enough name, maybe they deserve that little bit of space and privacy and all
totally,
that.
Man, yeah.
You know,
I mean, some of them are all right with it, you know, but I think when you get to a certain level, it's like rock stars, you know, they've got.
But you get hassled all the time, wouldn't you?
Yeah, they're not going to play the Hydro and then go and hang out at one of the bars. No.
Although Jim Jeffries did that.
Did he?
Yeah, the comedian.
Is it at the King's Theatre?
Maybe was it a theatre? Yeah, I don't know. But he played a show, and then it was a Thursday night. He was playing. He came to Box, and Skyline were on when I was still part of Skyline. And he turned up, and his entrance music for his show was Highway to Hell. So he was like, "Can I sing it?" It was like, "Fuck, go on, man."
Oh my God, that's cool.
So I've played Highway to Hell on guitar with Jim Jeffries on lead vocals, man.
That's incredible.
Yeah,
Matt did the singer
back
stay
vocal. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Matt stayed up and joined in and helped, because Jim Jeffries is a very funny man. He's not the best singer on the planet, I'll tell you that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, lots of energy, not a lot of notes.
Well, Highway is not an easy song to sing.
It's not an easy song,
man, you know?
No, 100%. I'm not by any means being derogatory to him as a performer, but it was what a great experience. It was really cool. He just turned up. I mean, I'm sure that there was probably a little bit of box wangling at some point with there, but it was cool.
That's you guys have all been luckier than me in that respect, because John's band, The Rocks, had Paolo Nutini on stage with him in Box. He's from Glasgow, so it's more likely to happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he turns up at jams every so often. Doesn't he,
and apparently when Paolo got up on stage and John was like, "What do you want to play?" and he went, "Anything but my stuff."
Really? Is that what he said?
He'd been sick of his own songs. He must have just finished a tour or something.
Hell, I bet.
So just anything but Pencil, anything but 10 out of 10, anything but fucking all of that shit. So I think they just did, I don't know what they did, some old soul song like Al Green or something like that.
Superstition.
So, yeah. The one song that every fucking jammer's sick of, you know. So you've had Jim Jeffries, he's had
Paolo.
The most famous person that ever comes to my gigs is you.
I'm just keeping it new, man.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm lying there because
of course I'm not fucking famous.
No, yeah, obviously, but you know, and you're not quite as famous as this person. Dan Hawkins, the lead guitar player from The Darkness, was in Box one night.
Oh, that's cool.
And he didn't recognise me from the time that I'd supported them, but I told him about it, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I remember you guys with the face paint, because we used to have like Kiss style stuff on, you know, not my choice Zach's, but you know, helped." Because we did a interview on France, a radio show in France when we were doing a tour down there,
right?
And they were asking, and we did quite a few of these interviews, but the one question they were always asking was, "Why do you wear face paint? Hasn't it been done by Kiss?" And Zach was like, "Well, what do you want us to do? Rock up in like jeans and a t-shirt, because that's been done before as well."
Yeah,
you know, everybody's done that. What do you want us to wear? Parkas?
We're talking about this as well with the melodies. Every melody has been done, right? So fucking just dress how you whatever works, man.
Yeah. I've started like not fighting to try and be cool anymore, because I'm 41 now. I'm just like, you know what? I want to wear a goofy t-shirt, not this one. This is Face of Silence. It's fucking great. I'm saying on stage, I'll wear like a busted t-shirt over a long-sleeved shirt.
I've seen this on your style these days, man.
Yeah, like, and I just feel comfortable.
McFly, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, or McFly or Busted or Avril Lavigne or fucking anything like that. Or sometimes I even wear like Atari or Spectrum. But then somebody came up to me the other day when I was wearing my Spectrum t-shirt, and they went, "Are you autistic or something?" And she went, "Oh, your t-shirt says Spectrum." I just thought, is that like a public service announcement?
Oh my God.
I was like, no, that was my first computer. It was up there with the Amstrad and the Commodore 64, and this is probably before your time even. I think you were probably.
Yeah, but I wouldn't jump to asking someone, "Are you autistic?"
Yeah, I know.
That's crazy.
It was a bit weird.
That's crazy.
So I wasn't offended at anything.
No,
I would imagine
but
that somebody who's autistic might be.
I don't know what to make of that. That's mad.
Yeah, that was a bit odd.
That's mad. But yeah, I think that this is the whole thing. It's like, dress how you want to. Who actually gives a fuck? You know what I mean?
It's like trying to do the whole like white leather jacket thing, which I still enjoy as well. The white leather jacket or the red leather jacket, and everybody's like fucking woohoo, looking like Michael Jackson with the red leather jacket Thriller. So I've been, not because of people saying it, but I just thought I don't feel comfortable in it. You wear it for 10 minutes on stage, you're too hot. You have to take it off anyway.
Yep.
So yeah, that, and then the shades are like trying to fucking, be cooler than you actually are. And I'm just like done with it. I'm just like, yeah, I'm a fucking goofy cunt. I'm too old to be doing fucking, busted covers, even though they're our age, so I don't know why that's what matters.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Have you heard Charlie's new shit?
Is this President?
Yes.
I have listened to it once. I haven't listened to it on repeat.
It's fucking badass, man.
Yeah, man. Well, it's pretty heavy, isn't it?
Very heavy. I thought it'd be right up your street.
It probably is.
Yeah.
It probably is.
It's a bit.
But have you done any digging on them and their route? Because they arrived out of nowhere as, with no music out. But obviously he's, some people call it he's an industry plant. They use that phrase to describe it, where he's obviously got all the connections and was able to set themselves up, because they basically announced, Download announced this band President are going to play. Nobody'd heard anything, but they got such a buzz straight off the bat from it, didn't they?
Yeah. Yeah, because everybody, they're trying to say, like the band are trying to say, oh no, you're not going to get to know who the singer is. If you're going to do something like that, don't have somebody with such an iconic voice.
I know. He's also a big man. He's not difficult to fucking identify.
Yeah, totally. But on the second video that they did, Fearless, I think it's called Fearless, he takes his mask off at the end, but it's not him.
All right, okay. So it's like a Mission Impossible moment.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay.
So I was like, you're not pulling the wool over my eyes. That it's definitely Charlie. Even me and Dean said, watch the performance at Download. It's all on YouTube.
Yeah.
It's like 20 minutes of like handicap of phone footage. None of it was pro shot, which is weird to me because
you would think they would have taken advantage of that.
I mean, you could definitely get a pay-per-view thing going on with that. Put it on Prime, £5 or something.
Hell yeah.
To watch the whole thing from the comfort of your couch, which I would definitely do because I don't do festivals.
Are festivals beyond you, mate?
I went to Leeds twice, and I went to Tea in the Park once, and I think that was me done.
Really?
I'm very hygienic and stuff like that, and I can't be arsed with lying in other people's piss.
Would you not pay for the VIP glamping?
That might be good. They might do that.
That's the thing, man. A lot of festivals these days, I mean, I think they probably always have, but there's always that option of, a sophisticated teepee or, like
a Mothman wigwam.
A Mothman wigwam, yeah. Or a campervan trailer type thing with an actual shower in it,
Yeah.
There's options there. I think that, because I've been to a few festivals as well, and I think they're great fun, but I get that after a few days of rolling around in the mud, I'm like, okay, I don't need to just get a shower and sort myself out a little bit. I'm the same as you with that way, man.
Yeah, it's weird because when I look back, like I really I did have such a great time. Met loads of new pals.
Of course.
We had a campfire around there a bit where we what was it? There was maybe like 8 tents, and we made a circle with them. We didn't know any of these people. Circle pit of tents. We put a bonfire in the middle and the grill and all that.
Brilliant.
And we had like somebody had an acoustic guitar. Obviously, it's a fucking festival.
Oh.
So we were passing the guitar around, and it was like, okay, this round we're going to play original songs only. This round we're going to play 90s songs
unreal.
only. Next song. So obviously, when it came to me for the originals round, I did Bread Demon.
Nice.
And I was a fucking
Bread
hero.
Demon.
And it was funny because the next day I woke up and you could hear people in other tents that weren't even ours going, Bread Demon.
No way.
It was so cool, man. They must have heard us in the night because this was after the bands had all finished.
Well, that's the thing. It doesn't sleep, man. Festivals don't sleep.
True. Yeah, well, you can't because
fucking Bread Demon's getting belted out acoustically by Big Johnsons.
Totally. I'm still sitting on that song, man. I think the timing is almost right for me to
release it.
Pay somebody to animate the whole song.
Brilliant.
Put it on TikTok. And then fucking, it's like
watch the bills fly in.
It's like it's like the underpants gnomes on South Park when Cartman's like, why are you stealing my underpants? And went, Well, it's a 3-step program. Phase 1, steal underpants. Phase 2, it's just a big question mark. And it's phase 3, profit. It's like me with bread, David. It's like, get it animated, put it online.
Something. Profit.
Somebody's going to dig it.
Surely.
Yeah.
Or eat it.
Well, ironically, I'm gluten intolerant
I
now.
know. Gluten-free bread, bro. That's a very, very specific demon.
Yeah, that's the thing. If I was gonna, because I used to do this thing where I would wrap it around my face with elastic bands, poke holes for the eyes. That's where it all originated.
I know, man. It was
Halloween
a Halloween
party.
outfit that you didn't have, so you're like, fuck it, bread demon.
Fucking bread demon just made up this thing. Guy was like, you can't get in without a mask. I was like, fuck.
Okay, then I guess I'll use a fucking slice of bread.
Yeah, I went down to the shop and the guy was running out of masks, and I was like, just give me some elastic bands and a loaf of bread.
Brilliant, man.
And I just went up I had my acoustic with me as well because I just finished the gig, and the guy was like, what the fuck are you supposed to be? And I went, well, I'll tell you. Once upon a time, there was a slice.
Did you introduce yourself by the means of song?
Yes, pretty much.
Brilliant, man.
I basically just I'd already had the chorus in my head, so I thought I'll just make up a stupid. So the first version of it was shit, but he let me into the party, and by the end of the night, we had a full song written.
Brilliant.
So I can't even take all the credit because it was me and a bunch of fucking stoners at this Halloween party writing bread demon.
Fucking hell.
It's become probably my most popular song, which is a bit of a shame. It's like Electric Six. That's like, if that was my most famous song.
Yeah, Gay Bar.
What do you think if they played Gay Bar at the beginning of the set? Do you think people would leave? Same way we were talking about Journey earlier on.
I don't actually think they would. I don't think people would leave. I think that Electric Six have enough energy. Because what size of venue are they going to fill?
I think they're probably an O2 Academy type band.
An Academy? I think people would stick around.
I was thinking more of a festival because that's what happened when I saw them.
Right, okay, yeah. Nah, people are sticking around for that shit, for sure.
Yeah.
But, Biscuit, like, for example, okay, different level in terms of, like, popularity and all the rest of it, song recognition, but they play Break Stuff twice. Most of the time they play now. They open with it, or they play it at least, one set, first, second, or third, and then they'll close with it.
Right.
So you'll get, Break Stuff, the rest of the stuff, and then to get Break Stuff again. And it's banging.
It's strange to me how when Chocolate Starfish came out, it kind of just completely engulfed Break Stuff and all that stuff. And it was like everybody's favourite song was Rolling.
Yeah.
You had My Way, you had Take a Look Around.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, this is the new Limp Bizkit. But over time, it's still Break Stuff that's the biggest song, isn't it, man? I think it's because it's easiest. People can play the 2 chords of it and go, I can play Limp Bizkit.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff's almost as easy, but some of it's quite tricky.
There are bits. Yeah, there are bits. It's just fucking groovy shit, man. I swear that I've seen them twice, and the first time was in Belfast last year, and then the most recent time was earlier this year at the Hydro. And the Hydro was more mental. The Belfast one was outdoors.
Right. Still
sounded great. They were supported by Tom Morello, actually. Don't know if I told you that.
Oh, the Night Watchman. Or was it?
No, it was Tom Morello.
Tom Morello, yeah.
Yeah, with his doing things.
Right.
A lot of the stuff he did instrumentally, which I thought was weird. Like, get a singer, man.
Tom did.
No.
Well, yeah. I mean,
he's playing rage songs. He's playing rage riffs. It's like, yeah, okay, but.
Oh, did he?
Yeah. Yeah.
I thought he was doing his own. Was he doing his own new original stuff as well, though?
Kinda. He sang a little bit,
right.
But I was left a little bit flummoxed by the fact that he didn't get a guest singer to come and sing the rage tunes.
Yeah, that's weird.
I would have thought that's because everybody was singing them anyway, but he didn't play them all. Like, he would do the riff from this and then intersperse that with the riff from something else. It's like, dude, play your fucking songs, man.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Strange. Anyway,
but if you knew that the audience were going to sing along, did they do all the rapping as well? Did the audience join in with the rap bits? Like,
they didn't get to that point. That's what I'm saying. He did like 30 seconds of a riff of a tune, and then changed it. Did 30 seconds of another one,
right,
and then played something else that he sang a little bit on. It was a strange set list, considering that, like, the catalogue of fucking epic songs that he's got to pull from. Very strange.
That is weird.
Very strange.
But then after that, he did. Well, are you sure it wasn't called The Night Watchman?
No, it was
Tom Morello's
Limp Bizkit, supported by Tom Morello.
Oh, right. Oh, that's weird, because after that, he did do a thing called The Night Watchman, and it was more acoustic-y, kind of Bob Dylan stuff.
This was fucking...
This was rocking, right?
Soul
and then the one after that was the Atlas Underground, Did you hear any of that? That's fucking dangerously cool music, man. They got a rapper on that. Cool. It's like, I think it's like, it's very industrial. Even more so than like Rage and that.
Dangerously cool. I'm just repeating you. Dangerously cool. It's a good film.
Yeah. Anyway, do you want to do the diary? The upcoming shows. Yeah. You better do the next 2 weeks because it might take you a few days to edit this. So.
Oh no, man! I'll be fucking all over this.
Unless you want me to edit it. I was going to ask you about that.
I'm happy doing it.
If you do it, that's totally cool, man. Then you can just if you just put the finished. Sorry, we'll do this off camera.
Yeah. I'll fire you all the stuff.
Okay, man.
I'll edit it and then I'll send it to you as one file, and you can upload it and all that.
Chuck it online. Brilliant.
So yeah, the next upcoming dates: Slam Dunk have Bag of Nails this Friday, 8 till 10, and then we have Arta midnight till 2. And then Blue Nicotine have Wildfire Festival on Sunday afternoon up at Wanlock Head.
I didn't realise that Bag of Nails were doing Fridays again. How long have they been doing that?
Couldn't tell you. I'm
going to have to get in touch with that wee Sophie.
Yes.
Sneaky Sophie.
There you go.
She told me they were only, for a year or so, they were only Saturdays, but now they've got Fridays. And
They seem to have, oh, Jesus. They seem to have the Fridays back on rotation again, yeah. So we're doing
give it a shout then.
Cool. I don't know about next weekend, except for the Saturday we have a wedding, I'm sure, so I can't remember. But yeah, what's yours?
This week I've got Box tonight, Wolf tomorrow. After Delamitri, that'll be amazing. This Sunday, if you want to catch us, come and jam with us at the Howling Wolf Glasgow. We're going to be hosting with I was going to say the effervescent, but that means something that dilutes, something that breaks up in water. Effervescent. The eminent. Charlotte Marshall. I don't even know what eminent means.
Eminent, coming into her own.
Her imminent eminence, yes. Charlotte Marshall, will be joining us on Sunday.
It's a compliment, that's the bottom line.
Yeah, it's a compliment for sure. On Sunday, 9 till 1, we'll be at the Wolf. That'll be me, Gabby Gav, and Charlotte and Archie doing the jam, so bring a guitar or use my piece of shit, it's up to you. Next week, we're going to be down in Annan, doing the Gala Day fundraiser. It says fundraiser in here, but it's the Gala Day celebrations in Annan. The riding of the marches, as they call it. Apparently, they all get in the horses and go round the border of the town. And it is a town, it's not a village or a city. It's like right in the middle. And they go around the border it's an ancient thing from like the 1500s. They go around the border to check that the town's not been attacked or anything. And then they parade through the city centre or the town centre. Aye. And then they go, and then the big parties at this venue. Well, we're going to be playing at a place called the Corner House in Annan.
There you go.
So we'll be there next Wednesday. Next Thursday, the 3rd, we'll be at Howling Wolf. Again, playing blues. And
amongst other things.
Yeah. And at some point in the near future, me and Doug are going to be getting our arses out of our fingers or something and putting on a gig of our own.
Fucking right we are.
Face the Mexi silence.
Face the Gary.
Yeah, face the Mexi.
Mexi silence.
Yeah, that'll do. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Keep your eyes peeled for that shit, because that's going to be hopefully announcing something to do with that very, very soon. So yeah,
can't wait, bro.
Fucking A.
Good to see you again.
Likewise, man.
Enjoy the rest of the night. Catch you later, you queefs.